Hi, and welcome back to my series where I'm reading my book, Ticking My Way Through Life, to my viewers. If you tuned in last time, we just got done reading chapter 4, The Diagnosis. So today we are going to go ahead and start with chapter 5, Tics Through the Years. The biggest question I've always been asked is, how do you tick? Aside from being asked if I swear all the time, the two most common questions are what I do when I tick and if it hurts when I do it. Well, I would be here all day if I listed every single tic that I do, but I will highlight a few of the worst tics I've had over the years, as well as one of the ones that I have most frequently today. It's important to remember that everyone who has Tourette syndrome is different, and we all have different movements or sounds that happen throughout the day or even years of our lives. Some will fade away, old ones come back, and sometimes you can wake up one day with a brand new tic. Every day is different for someone living with Tourette syndrome, and those of us affected never know what kind of day it'll be until it happens. The worst and most pronounced tic that I can remember was flipping my head backward. I used to flip my head down, allowing all my hair to fall as if I was about to blow dry or style it. And then I'd flip it back up. If all my hair didn't fall over my head, I would have to repeat it. If I tripped over myself while it happened, I would have to do it again. Each time with more force, as if my body was punishing me for doing it wrong the first time. I would do this constantly, and because of that, I suffered from a lot of neck and back pain and headaches. My neck would be sore daily, and I would ask my mom to help rub out the kinks all the time. This tic was still prevalent on Halloween when my friends and I were trying to make a Halloween movie together. Being the great supporting friends that they were, they came up with the idea that in the movie I was going to be a dancer for Halloween. That way, when I would flip my head over and my hair over and back up, it would look like I was playing my dancer role in the movie. Thankfully, this tic for the most part has faded away, and I haven't had to think of clever ways to make it work in social situations. However, every once in a while when I'm drying my hair with a towel after a shower or after swimming, it triggers my head to do it again, but nothing like before. Another big tic that I had while growing up that I am extremely thankful I don't have anymore is the straddle jumping. Straddle jump is a jump that is most often associated with cheerleaders and dancers. While in the air, both legs are extended straight out to each side. I think I had this tic because of my dance background, but one Christmas Eve I was so excited, I was jumping all over my grandmother's house. The worst part was I remember my body having to do it in the tightest of places. It was almost like it was some kind of game my mind was playing with me. Every time I went through a doorway that my legs just barely fit through while doing a straddle jump. Every time I hit the last step coming down the stairs or walking down off my grandma's porch, it was a trigger for the tic to take over. Sometimes I would have to crouch down and jump up from the position as if my body was winding up to expel the tic at full force. I have always loved Christmas, and I still do, so whenever the Christmas season came around, my tics would get a lot worse. It happens to this day as an adult because this is my favorite time of year, but thankfully that tic has yet to make another appearance in my life, and I hope it stays that way. Nowadays, I tend to tic with my eyes, jaw, and neck a lot. Facial tics are amongst the ones that I am more self-conscious about. I've gotten myself into some trouble on occasion from people thinking I was showing attitude and rolling my eyes at them. My eyes will roll so far to the back of my head that when they come back, my vision blurs momentarily and I feel pain throughout my entire eye. The aches that occur after the tic only cause more of a trigger to repeat it. In my body, feeling that tenderness increases the urge and need for my body to tic more. My eyes lead into more facial tics as it becomes more complex. I move my head in a circular motion along with stretching out my mouth and jaw at the same time. Whichever direction my head goes, I always have to stretch my jaw in the opposite direction. I think for whatever reason, this makes my brain feel like everything is equaling itself out. I always thought my body would get used to the movement so I wouldn't be as sore anymore after a day of high tic levels, but unfortunately, that is not always the case for me. Complex facial and head tics always lead to jaw and neck pain, and depending on the complexity or intensity, tension headaches stemming from the back of my head where it meets my neck. Another set of movements that are still dominant to this day are done with my hands and my feet. When I'm writing or doing something specific with my hands, I have to stop what I'm doing to kind of flick my wrists back and forth until it feels right. I used to just flick my wrists, but over time the tic grew into more of a complex tic, just like they did with my head. I began to rotate my hands in a circular motion, my right hand going clockwise, my left hand going counterclockwise, and then once they become full circle, I flick my wrist twice to the sides. The worst part about my tics for me is that every time I finish it, for a split second, it feels right, as if I won't ever have to do it again. When I do it right, it feels complete, and as silly as it sounds, a part of me thinks, maybe that was it. Maybe my body did what it wanted one final time and I'll stop doing this. Only that's not what happens at all. Actually, I barely have enough time to even have that full thought run through my head before my body is doing it again. Moving down the body, come to my stomach tics. My stomach tics were the first ones I noticed and still happen to this day quite often. This is why people tell me that they don't even realize that I have it, because I'm usually ticking with my stomach and they can't see it. I move my stomach muscles in and out, and my fingers usually move around in a circular motion at the same time. You'll notice that a circular motion with my fingers and hands is a popular move with my body. When the tic is at its highest intensity, I grunt with each stomach movement. I breathe in while pulling my muscles towards my back, and then grunt quietly 2 times. It's triggering my grunts right now. This will continue until I can't breathe anymore. I always try to find ways to tic discreetly so that I don't get asked about it or to make other people around me more comfortable. Even though I know I can't control it, and I know it's not my job to make everyone else comfortable, I still try to. When I tic with my feet, it's usually when I'm walking, since I'm obviously using my feet to get there. That's the part of the body that gets triggered to move in ways I wish it didn't. I will be in the store with my husband, and I have to stop in the middle of the aisle to kick or stomp on the ground. I slide my feet on the floor in front of me and then kick the ground 2 times, and as always, this gets repeated on the other side for the tic to be complete. Sometimes I'll be stopped in the middle of the store for 5 or 10 minutes before I can get the energy to pull myself out of it. Ticking in public, as I do with my kicking tic, is always one of the harder ones. I always wonder if it's going to cause a scene, or if that particular day will be the day when someone has a problem with it or mocks me publicly. People are unpredictable and can be pretty unkind when it comes to things they don't understand, so it's always a worry in the back of my mind. I wish I could say that this is where the tics stop, that I only tic with those parts of my body, but I can't. Tourette syndrome is a roller coaster I never wanted to ride. I wake up every single day not knowing what's going to happen or how bad it's going to be. It doesn't hurt all the time, and sometimes I don't feel the pain until the next day, but it does hurt. With the physical pain comes a toll it takes on me mentally and my emotions. A day spent ticking nonstop is known to put me in a dark place mentally and emotionally. These days leave me not feeling like myself and leave me wanting to be different or normal. No one knows what no control means until they feel their entire body moving on their own with no intentions of stopping. I get so tired and angry because all I want to do is sit down and relax, but for me, relaxing doesn't always come easy. What I want from my body and what it wants to do are 2 entirely different things. I hope you enjoyed reading or listening to Chapter 5 with me. If you would like to get your copy of Ticking My Way Through Life, you can get it online anywhere books are sold. And if you do read it and enjoy it, or have already read it and enjoy it, please remember to rate and review it online, as that helps authors like myself so much. And remember to subscribe to my channel so you never miss another reading.